It is the Lab Love Midday Show. Appreciate y'all joining in, hanging out with me. It is a whole show. It's a whole radio show. So if you're watching online, check it out on iHeartRadio. That's right, we're on iHeartRadio and Spotify. Check out the Lab Love Midday Show on either one of the streaming platforms, as well as here on Spreaker. That's where we house that. When you hear me talking to the people in the chat room, that is where I am. Those are the people I'm talking to. Those chat rooms, unfortunately, are not available on Spotify or iHeartRadio. But the fact that we are on iHeart is kudos in itself. That being said, let's jump into our conversation of the day. I want to know, do people have unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating? And I asked that question predicated upon a video that I saw. And I'm going to play the audio from the video, and then we're going to jump into this. We're going to jump right into this. And this I thought it was interesting. So in the video, she explains what she thinks about the expectations of dating. And these are them.
We got all these things we want in a man. A list of things. He got to be tall. He got to be dark. He got to be handsome. He got to have pretty teeth. He got to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. He got to be rich. He got to be successful. He got to be all these things. And we ain't even half the things on that list. He got to be a family man. Bitch, you ain't talked to your mama in 6 months, but you want him to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. Your account is in the negative, ma'am. Overdraft fees. He got to have a job. You need to go fill out some applications because you're still unemployed. He got to have pretty teeth. You ain't seen the dentist.
So what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Is that accurate? And I know she's talking about women. And I've been rough on women this week, so I don't want to go down that path with women. It's not about women. This is about people, period. Because the same way guys out here have unrealistic expectations. You have guys out here who want a woman with a big booty and big breasts and be built like one of these Instagram models. Yeah, he built like he getting ready to be on an episode of My 600-Pound Life. So the pendulum swings both ways. So I don't want to make this about women. This ain't about women having unrealistic expectations. It's about people having unrealistic expectations. Now, again, she happened to be talking about women and your expectations and da-da-da-da. That's it. I want a queen. Dude, you ain't no king. How you want a queen and you a court jester? The court jester don't get to date the queen. You a peasant. Peasants only get with the queen in Disney movies. What is you talking about? That's not realistic. The peasant never gets to get with the queen. Never. Never. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about unrealistic expectations. You dumb, your mama dumb, your daddy dumb, your whole family is not that bright. But you out here, one of your requirements is to have somebody who got a college degree. You better stop playing with the universe. That's not how the universe works. The universe don't send not smart people Rhodes Scholars. It doesn't work that way. I know we want to believe that, but that's not how the universe works. Are you unrealistic with your expectations and what you're looking for? Ursa says you can't ask for what you're not willing to give. Milton says, was that B. Simone? Yes, it was. That was B. Simone. In that clip. Unrealistic. Do people want things in the dating process that really don't even matter? Do people want stuff that just is not relevant? I thought it was all about finding somebody who was a good person who ultimately cared deeply for you and ultimately treated you well. I thought that was the ultimate purpose of the dating process. I didn't think the dating process included having good teeth. I don't think somebody having or not having good teeth are a indicator of how well they will or won't treat you. Now, if they got bad teeth, clearly they have a dysfunctional relationship with their mouth, but that doesn't mean they won't love you. They might be beefing with their barber. With their dentist. I don't know, but their mouth is not indicative of that. Now, I always jokingly say that my superpower is being able to see everything from everybody's perspective and keeping it in the vein of like with the teeth. Sometimes the fact that you don't take care of your mouth or stuff like that is an indicator of the fact that, get ready, SAT word, that you are somewhat aloof. That is an indicator of that. Just like sometimes when you get in somebody's car and it's nasty, it is an indicator of how their house probably looks. It is what it is. Sometimes when you see how people talk to their kids, is indicative of how they're going to talk to you in the dating process. So sometimes those things are true. So I can't say they don't 100% matter, but should they necessarily be a priority? And does that take a little bit? Should that exclude someone automatically off the rip? Maybe he or she mouth look the way it looks because he or she just are scared. There are a lot of people who fear going to the dentist. Are actually terrified at going to the dentist. So they haven't been. There are people who are terrified about going to the doctor. So they haven't been. So that is why they haven't been. So does it mean we need to investigate more, or can you completely exclude people because their mouth don't look right? Again, unrealistic expectations. How do you measure, or what's the word I'm looking for here? How do you determine what is, what should be a priority? I'm just saying, bad hygiene. They online is saying it's indicative of bad hygiene when your mouth is jacked up. Shay said, what does she tune into? Shay, you better stop playing. Rose says, lazy, don't want to take care of self. How you going to take care of me? Book of Ronan says she wear LV shades to cover up her cock eyes. See, y'all showing out now. Y'all showing out. But again, now somebody just said that teeth can be fixed. Milton says also having bad teeth could also be signs of being a procrastinator or being lazy. Or said they got drugs for that. I'm saying, and again, I don't want this to become a teeth conversation because that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is unrealistic expectations when dating. Again, the teeth is that an indicator? Have you ever felt like you have been slid to the side or not given the time of day simply by something that you feel is superficial or something that should not even be in the consideration process? And I think sometimes when we have these, and I want to make sure we stay in the right area with this. I don't want you to comment from an in relationship perspective, because rules of engagement change once you're in a relationship, and rules of engagement change once you actually go a little bit past the initial meeting. Dating, I'm referring to meeting someone, because what she's talking about is seeing someone. You have a list of expectations that you have when you meet. So when I meet dude in the club or meet chick in the restaurant, when you meet this person, you want to know day one, do they fit these parameters? So that's what we're talking about. So I want you to keep it in that perspective. So don't say, well, when I'm dating somebody, we ain't talking about once you start dating them. That's not where we at with this. We're talking about you, and you meet them in whatever location and you size them up. Do you say, ooh, his or her teeth ain't right? Do you say, ooh, her booty flat? Ooh, she needs to go to the gym, or ooh, she needs to put on some weight? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's your credit score? Are these things that you're asking? And I don't get to dictate what's priority to you, but I'm asking, do we have unrealistic expectations in this whole dating process? Do some people make these things a priority and they should be? That's all I'm asking. And it's like Ursula said, can you ask for something that you're not willing to give or can't give? Is it okay? Because some people would say, I don't have to have it. I want to find a mate that'll help me level up to that, whatever that is. I don't have to be rich. I don't have to be making 6 or 7 figures. I want to meet somebody who can help me not give me 7 figures, but help me get to 7 figures. I'm just saying. Shay says some people will count you out if they see something that they've seen with a former bad partner. Without a doubt. People do it all the time. And sometimes I think people have their own flaws and they're scared about experiencing their own flaws in you. So you got trust issues. And you know you got trust issues. So when you date you, the first thing is that you got trust issues. So now you scared that you finna date you. And you turn them into a bad person, but they just have your behavior. So you scared of you instead of saying, dang, I see myself in them. I got to do better because now I know how that feels. That ain't what, a lot of times that's not what people do. They make you to be the bad guy, even though you're doing what they do. So again, unrealistic expectations. Mystical says, what if they got in a fight or a car accident and they got all their teeth knocked out? Two crayons. Danae says 2 crayons cost $1,000. See, I told you, I knew y'all was going to turn this into a teeth conversation. Ursa said, I actually had a guy tell me he wouldn't date me because I have tattoos and piercings. Mystical says, I think it's normal to take inventory when you meet someone, and we all have our preferences and types, and we need to be reasonable as well. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But what's reasonable? Who gets to determine what's reasonable and what's not reasonable? Where does that come into play in this entire conversation? So that's what we're talking about today, unrealistic expectations. Do you have them? Do you have unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating? Are you one of these people? Shay says they want you to have good credit score, but they rocking a 250 GTFOH. Y'all know what that stands for. The Book of Ronan says we need to ask, could we really date ourselves first? That's a heck of a question. I freaking love it, Book of Ronan. I love it. Would you date you? That should be one of your first questions. Would you date you? I think a lot of times, but I think the problem gonna come with that is people ain't reasonable and people not realistic. The biggest lies ever told are the lies that people tell themselves. And the problem with self-evaluation, a lot of y'all ain't real with it. All right, this is Lab Love Midday Show. We're getting into it. We're talking about unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating. Let me know what you think. We're talking about unrealistic expectations. What do you think? All right, that's where we at with it online. We're talking about unrealistic dating expectations. Do you have unrealistic expectations? Ro on YouTube says, I would love to date myself, and I have. I mean, and everybody got their thing. But I think that is a fair question. Would you date you? Would you? If you are honest with yourself. I think some people think they're good mates, but they're not necessarily good mates. And some people don't think they're a good mate, but they actually are good mates. They just haven't found the right person. So I think that pendulum swings both ways. But that's what the question is on the floor today. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, it's a whole radio show, the Lab Love Midday Show. Check out the show on Spotify and iHeartRadio, as well as Spreaker, every day, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know. Come kick it with me. Hang out with me. Listen to the music. Grown folks, hip hop, R&B, and conversations like this right here.